How you doing?
Hi, good to see you, brother.
No, we're here.
I open the Bernards Township Committee meeting for May 27th, 2025. Please stand for the flag salute. Mayor's opening statement meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, 1 Colorado Lane, Basking Ridge, on the township website, and emailed to the Bernards News Whippany, the Courier News Bridgewater, tapin2.net, patch.com, and filed with the township clerk on December 18th, 2024. Any motion to go into closed session will include that those matters discussed at such closed session will be disclosed to the public when such matters are finally determined, and there is no further reason to prohibit the public from disclosure of information relating to such matters. No new business will be introduced after 10:30 p.m. Public comments will be accepted at all meetings. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes each. All meetings will adjourn no later than 11:30 p.m. Roll call, Christy.
Ms. Acey?
Here.
Ms. Duarte McCarthy?
Here.
Mr. McNally?
Here.
Mr. Tancredi?
Here.
Mayor Fields?
Here. Executive session, Christy.
None this evening, Mayor.
Next, resolution 2025-0118, Bernards Township Stigma-Free Community Resolution. And I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Anna McCarthy, who's representing the Municipal Alliance, to present the resolution.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'm really pleased that we're presenting this stigma-free resolution this evening. And as background, the township first designated a stigma-free community through a resolution that we passed in 2018. And at that time, Bernards Township was among the first municipalities to do so. While the resolution was not passed again in subsequent years, there was continued focus from our Board of Health and the Municipal Alliance to focus on education and support for those with mental health concerns. In addition, Somerset County had placed a renewed focus this year on fostering stigma-free municipalities, and this coincided with the Municipal Alliance's objective to reinvigorate our efforts. Some folks have asked me, what is stigma? Stigma is the practice of associating negative stereotypes with certain memberships or characteristics, such as substance abuse disorders, race, social class, income, or intellectual or developmental disability status. This can create barriers and challenges that could be eliminated in relationships, housing, employment, and education. Many feel ostracized and isolated and rejected based on these perceived differences and societal values. Because of this, we are very hopeful that the efforts that we're going to reinvigorate will continue to show the importance of being a stigma-free community in Bernards Township. So Mayor, now I'd like to invite my colleagues to make comments, and then I'll turn it back to you for your comments and our vote.
Okay. David?
Bernards Township has been a leader in promoting a stigma-free community through educational programs and training by our health department and municipal alliance. Individuals with physical and mental disabilities should not be judged or discriminated against. These individuals and their families deserve our respect, compassion, and guidance in receiving the help they require. Bernards will continue our efforts to raise public awareness of this condition and maintain a community of acceptance and support.
Thank you. Jen?
As a healthcare professional, it's the right thing to do. Under the leadership of Lucy Forgione, our previous health officer, and our current new health officer, Don Marling, through the efforts of their leadership, and obviously Caitlin, and all of the programs that you run, the actions that you do show that it is important. From a mental health perspective, many of us know that many of the reasons why we have issues within the community, in particular, one of my areas of interest is related to screens and youth. Mental health is very important, and so I completely support this type of resolution to show that we are an inclusive community and believe that you should be stigma-free, not only for mental health, but other healthcare conditions as well. Thank you.
Thank Andrew?
Thank you, Mayor. I applaud this resolution marking Berners Township as a stigma-free community. I thank the Municipal Alliance, the Health Department, all the programs put on to address mental health issues. As the resolution so eloquently observes, there is no health without mental health. Programs addressing mental health help bring about open and honest dialogues about mental health challenges, facilitating those in need of mental health care to get it more easily. Stigma can be among the greatest barriers to obtaining needed mental health care, and ensuring a stigma-free climate is an important way for people to overcome those barriers. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, before your comment, I just want to add that we have Caitlin Cartoscio here, who is Senior Health Educator in our Berners Township Health Department. And then after we approve the resolution and take our photo, we want to invite Sophia Burkhart-Kutu to make remarks. She's a member of the Municipal Alliance, a licensed social worker, and is the Clinical Outreach Director at Barrett Life Recovery in Florham Park.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I just want to say how important this is, that there's such a large stigma with mental health. So many people feel like they can't be open and honest and share. It is a debilitating disease. It's hard for people to deal with, and the support that you can get is being able to tell people, and like Andrew said, being open and honest of what you're dealing with. So it's so important that we highlight the stigma, and we work with people and educate people so that more people know that it's accepted and that we're here to help them. And I do want to say something about government does play a role in that, because I'll never forget when Dick Cody, who was governor then, his wife came out and let everyone know that she had mental illness. And it really highlighted that somebody like her had mental illness, and it really made a difference. And I remember when I met her at an event, and I thanked her for that, and I said, I think it's really important that you came out and let everyone know that you were going through and that you wanted people to be open and honest about mental illness. And it made a difference for me, and I think it made a difference for everyone in the state. So the way we can do that is to continue to highlight mental illness and work and educate. And Anna and I have talked about bringing a program together with Municipal Alliance and the Fabric of Bernards to do some kind of program and work with you, Caitlin, within our community to talk about it and to educate mental illness. So Anna and I hopefully will be doing that, and hopefully Jen will join us in that. Thank you. Yeah. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words before we present the resolution? Take a picture? Oh, go ahead.
Do I have to say my address?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was like, that's so weird. As a newly appointed member of the Township's Municipal Alliance, I am very excited to see what we as a community can do in terms of mental health awareness and substance abuse prevention. This initiative encourages us and our children to have more open conversations about mental health and helping to normalize the experience of seeking help. It sends a clear message that no one should face these challenges alone, and that seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. I do believe that as a community, we can break down the barriers of stigma and ensure that everyone has access to the care and support they need to thrive. As a lifelong resident of Basking Ridge and a member of the recovery community, thank you everyone for your support in this vital endeavor. And let us continue to work together to build a healthier, more inclusive community for all.
Thank you. Well said.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much.
So the next two resolutions, before I read them, I want to jointly say this on behalf of myself and my colleagues. The Jewish community, the Asian American and Pacific Island Heritage, the Asian American Pacific Island Heritage Month and Jewish Heritage Month. So you have the Jewish community, you have the BRIC, which is the Basking Ridge Indian community, and then you have the Chinese American Association. I want to personally say from all of us, your organizations have been so inviting to all of us, to keep us informed, to keep us invited in your community, to teach us about your culture, to teach us about your religion. And it's meant a lot to all of us that your organizations have really extended yourself to all of us and included us in anything that you've done, and we really appreciate that, because not everybody does that. And since the day I started, and I know a lot of my colleagues, your organizations reached out to us personally, one by one, and said, want to introduce you to my organization and let you know what it's all about and what we do. And we want to teach about our culture, teach about our religion. And that's meant a lot to all of us. And I just want to personally thank you, and thank you on behalf of my colleagues. It's been tremendous. And I always say, if we educate ourselves about organizations, about culture, about heritage, about religion, the more we know, the more we understand about one another, because we're all different in some ways, and we were all raised differently, and so then that doesn't divide us, it brings us together. So I just want to say thank you before I read the resolutions. First one is Resolution 2025-0230, which is Jewish Heritage Month celebration, May 2025. So we have a resolution to present to, we have the Chabad of Somerset County, and with us tonight we have Rabbi Mendel Shemtov. So instead of reading the resolution, I'm just going to read something, and then each of my colleagues will say something. I'm proud to recognize and celebrate Jewish Heritage Month, a time to honor the rich history, enduring traditions, and remarkable contribution of Jewish individuals and communities to our town, our nation, and the world. For generations, Jewish Americans have helped shape the culture, economic, scientific, and civic fabric of our society. From social justice movements to artistic achievements, from groundbreaking innovations to steadfast community leadership, the Jewish community has played an integral role in building a more vibrant and inclusive future. This month, we reflect on persuasive of who we decide cultures for centuries of adversity and persecution, and have continued to thrive and continue with courage. You have contributed so much with your courage, your resilience, and dignity. We also take this opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to fighting anti-Semitism in all its forms and ensuring that everyone in our community can live with safety, respect, and pride in their identity. Let us honor Jewish heritage not only with celebration, but with continued learning, solidarity, and actions. And together we will ensure that the values of inclusion, diversity, and mutual respect remain the foundation of our community. Would anybody else? Jen?
Where to start? The Rabbi, you and your organization have been, as the mayor said, beyond welcoming. Your facility is stunning. The artistic depictions within your center are something that everyone within our community, Jewish or not, should have the opportunity, should make the time to see this beautiful depiction. We can't thank you enough for all that you bring to our community, and we look forward to continuing to work with you and to learn from you. Thank you.
David?
Jewish Americans have played a key role in American culture since its founding. Judeo-Christian values of compassion, justice, moral responsibility, faith, and family were the framework of our founding documents and continue to guide our country. People of the Jewish faith have contributed to every aspect of our society, have fought in every war, and have provided moral leadership to our government, shaping our national identity. For me, it's an honor to celebrate with you this month.
Anna?
Certainly. So this Jewish American Heritage Month, as the mayor said, was first proclaimed nearly 20 years ago, in 2006. And many of these Heritage Months were done because there was an opportunity to embrace cultures, ethnicities, disability, areas that had not previously been discussed in society and or celebrated and acknowledged all these rich contributions. And while it's been 20 years, I think the timeliness of this is more important perhaps now than ever. In 2023, we saw the tragic events that occurred in October that took the lives of so many innocent people, and with it came this increase in anti-Semitism. And we have to, talk about things like this and to acknowledge that, so that it doesn't continue and that we are able to be respectful and inclusive. And this is something that this resolution provides. Personally, as Committeewoman Acey said, the Chabad is a wonderful place. It's welcoming. It is an opportunity for many to learn more about the culture and also to celebrate the faith through the beautiful artistic work that's there and through the many events and programs that you always invite the community to. And lastly, you've personally now become a member of the Municipal Alliance, so there's a nice segue from the resolution we just passed, and your insights and perspectives on how to bring these topics across our community are really valued. So I join my colleagues in celebrating Jewish American Heritage Month and also thanking you and the community for all that you do in turn for Bernards Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. It's with great pleasure that we mark Jewish Heritage Month in Bernards Township tonight. I too want to thank Rabbi Shem Tov of the Chabad of Somerset County, located right here in Bernards Township, for joining us tonight to accept this resolution. Over thousands of years, the Jewish people have preserved their faith and traditions in all corners of the globe. The Jewish people from ancient times to the present have given humanity tremendous gifts in science, law, technology, medicine, spirituality, arts and entertainment, and countless other fields. Preserving the traditions, faith, and identity of the Jewish people over the millennia has not always been easy. Dating back to biblical times, the Jewish people have suffered through slavery, expulsions, pogroms, discrimination, and other forms of oppression, including the horrors of the Holocaust and other manifestations of anti-Semitism. Just last week, in an outrageous act of terrorism, 2 members of the staff at the Israeli embassy in our nation's capital were murdered. Yet, the Jewish people persevered. While empires rose and fell all around them, the Jewish people not just endured, but have continued to thrive throughout the world. And this includes the Jewish community here in Bernards Township, which continues to thrive. I'm happy that we mark May as Jewish Heritage Month in Bernards Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you all for your really heartwarming words. And to reflect back at you, I want to thank every single one of you for being so supportive and participating, and for not only Chabad Center, but for all Jewish members in the community and the community at large, and as displayed by the annual menorah lighting that you guys support and participate in every year. It's incredible to see. Not every town's like this one. This one's something special. So thank you. I really, really, really appreciate all the support and the resolution here tonight. Thank you.
We're going to bring it down and take a picture. All of us.
Well done. And Mayor, if I may, I just, while the rabbi's here, wanted to thank him for the beautiful prayer that he gave at our Memorial Day commemoration on Monday. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Resolution 2025-0231, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebration. So with us tonight, we have the Bernard's Chinese American Association. And we were supposed to have somebody from the Basking Ridge Indian Community, Gotham, but I don't see him in the audience. So I'm going to present the resolution. Again, I am honored to recognize May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a time to celebrate the profound contributions that AAPI have made, and especially here in Bernards. Spanning a vast, diverse range of cultures, languages, and traditions, the AAPI community has enriched every facet of our community. Here in Bernards, we are fortunate to be home to a vibrant and dynamic AAPI population that continues to shape our identity and strengthens the fabric of Bernards community. We honor the legacy of those who came before us and recommit ourselves to create a community where all people, regardless of their background, are seen, valued, and empowered. Let us take this opportunity not only to celebrate, but also to learn, to listen, and to stand with AAPI neighbors. Diversity is one of our greatest strengths here in Bernards, and together we will continue to build a future rooted in respect, inclusion within our community. David?
Sure. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have been one of the fastest growing communities in Bernards Township. They've made many contributions to our township through volunteerism and community service. We welcome them, thank them for sharing their history, religions, and traditions with our fellow residents. I look forward to them serving in a larger role in our community. Congratulations.
Mayor, I'm pleased that our township is recognizing Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. Individuals of Asian Pacific Islander heritage make up 24% of our township's population and contribute across every facet of community life. The community is vibrant, including the two organizations you mentioned, the Bernards Chinese American Association and the Basking Ridge Indian Community, which have created opportunities for all of us to embrace these cultures while inviting all to partake and become educated in the rich and vibrant traditions and customs. You are also very active participants as volunteers across the community. Many of you serve within different organizations, including our own township boards. Jane Zhang, who's here, recently helped the YMCA as an example as a collaborator on their strategic plan to help provide insight and input. So, you're just terrific. And I really am so pleased that we are again recognizing this month and able to celebrate all that you do for our community. So thank you. Jen?
So as we know, May is actually Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. On May the 17th, we were invited to attend the Somerset Hills YMCA Togetherhood Committee along with HCTCS, hosted an AAPI Heritage Month celebration. So it was a wonderful event that was held, and it was beyond who we often traditionally work with, for instance, BRIC. So it was a wonderful experience, sharing in food and dance and music within especially our Indian cultures. I sort of feel like we're blessed that not only is May this dedicated month, but because of BRIC and the BCAA, the Bernards Chinese American Association, you celebrate, you share your culture with us multiple times a year. So we get the benefit of Jane, you and Nick and your leadership team to share with us around your Mid-Autumn Festival later this year, as well as the New Year celebration. So again, so grateful to your volunteerism, your leadership in bringing this to our community. So thank you.
Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll echo some of the sentiments of my colleagues. It's certainly wonderful to mark May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month by way of this resolution. Members of this community represent a large and growing population within our township, and doing this resolution is a great way to mark the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders to our community, our country, and indeed the world over. contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islands to culture, religion, art, science and technology, philosophy, and countless other fields cannot be understated. Their contributions to the American experience, however, did not come without struggle. And like many other communities, Asians and Pacific Islanders encountered discrimination and exclusion during their history here in the United States. In ages past, differences in language, culture, and geographic separation more profoundly divided East and West as opposed to how they do today. For hundreds of years, in this country and elsewhere, and continuing to this day, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have shaped American and world culture, enriching all of our lives through their contributions. Today, with this resolution, we honor these rich contributions and achievements of Asian American and Pacific Islanders in Berners Township, and we look forward to those of the generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Jane Zhang? Jane Zhang, go come up with your board members and then we'll take a picture. Jane Zhang from the Berners Chinese American Association. Say Marks. They can come up too
Okay.
with you.
Thank you so much, all the committee member and the community. Our organization actually formed exactly 3 years ago. I remember Helen registered the company to start with. We were so nervous about when we held our first event in September of that year. I called Jane in the very late hours of the 2 days before. We first worried about not enough people to attend, and then worry about too many people attend. So it's kind of a very good memory. And in the last 3 years, we did hold quite a few events, and I really appreciate all the township committee members make every effort to attend, which means a lot. We want our organization to be part of the broader community. We don't want just a closed door to anybody. So this is so meaningful for this resolution, and for all the last 3-4 years, action means a lot to our community. And I really want to thank all the board members and all the from the Chinese community who come to the event. Without everybody's volunteer, nothing can happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Awesome stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can go if you'd like. You can continue. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Public work session, Christie?
None this evening. Mayor.
Correspondence?
None.
Next is public comment. Comments are welcome during the public comment period during this meeting on any agenda item or other matters over which the Township Committee has jurisdiction. However, if an ordinance is listed for its own public hearing on the agenda, please hold your comments for that particular public hearing. The public comment portion of the agenda is not structured as a question and answer session, but offers an opportunity to share your thoughts with the Township Committee. The committee may or may not address these comments during the meeting. However, all comments are considered. To address this body, the speaker must come forward to the microphone and state his or her name and address for the record. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Clerk will keep time. Please promptly yield the floor when time is called and return to your seat. Your cooperation and adherence to these rules of order will ensure an orderly and a respectful meeting. I open public comment.
Stein from Riverside Drive. Nothing personal, it's business. The budget was introduced March 25th, and it was voted on April 29th. In the future, I would like to see a public comment when it's introduced, and not wait a month later to have comment on it, when you're not going to change it. In almost 25 years of coming to these meetings, I've yet to ever see the committee say, we're not going to do it this way, we're going to change the budget. So the dead subject to even, I mean, I'm sure legally you have to have that public hearing on that second reading. But it does no good, you get no answers, and whatever suggestions you have, it means nothing. It should be done when it's introduced, allow the people to have questions, and then you have a whole month to kick it around and say, well, is that a good suggestion or not? It does no good, especially because you have public comment before you even present the budget. So they don't even know what to ask. And then, as we saw last week, where last time we had the meeting, the friggin' projector didn't even work. So it was a dead thing. So I'm just asking for the future ones to consider it. It shouldn't be a problem. It's not like the room is filled with a lot of people, but I'm sure there's people who have questions, and that's the one thing. I'm just wondering where everybody is tonight for the endorsing the housing element and fair share plan tonight. I guess Facebook's not working tonight. And they weren't there last week either for the planning board, where they had the planner there who could actually explain the elements. I was there and one other young lady was there, and that was it. So all that yelling and crying, if you came and listened and asked questions, you had an understanding. I looked at it. I'm going to tell you, we dodged a bullet. I think the plan that we got was a very good plan. It's a plan that was presented by a year before, and then for some reason we got on a tangent and made everybody angry for a good plan, and it was a good plan. Westgate was already approved.
Thank you, Todd.
And there was no reason to build it. I know I dodged a bullet because I had the Lord Sterling School, which I had no problem with them developing over there. Well, they were planning to put 80 units in there. And I'm going to tell you, 80 units right there would change dramatically that whole section of town with traffic and everything. You talk 80 units, that's probably 160 people, and that's without kids, and then cars. So if people get a chance, should take a look and see. I think it's page 20 on the document, page 50 if you look at the agenda. And you look at that one thing, it'll tell you all the different developers that the president that gave plans for approval. And you're going to see all over town, you've dodged big bullets. And I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much.
Todd. We appreciate the compliment. Anyone else?
Nancy D'Andrea, 3 Vanderveer Drive. I didn't go to the planning board because I think most people think that once you guys have approved it, that the planning board can't change anything. A lot of people don't understand local government 101, but that's okay. I understand. Actually, I'm here to tell you a very ridiculous story of my son, who's now 24. But when he was 14, he entered Rich High, but he had never been in the public school system here until Rich High. He was at Montessori from age 2 to 14. And when he entered, he was like, wow, there's a lot of different kids here, like the diversity, you know? And he, because of his classes, he said when he came home from school that first day, I go, so, you know, are there a lot of girls, boys? He goes, no, you're asking the wrong question. He goes, I'm the minority. He goes, because it was the honors classes. So he goes, I was the minority. So all his friends throughout Ridge were usually not the traditional white American boy. Okay, they were all different, Chinese, Indian. And then when he went to college, it just happened to be that he was surrounded by Filipinos and Japanese students and Chinese students. And his roommate was Chinese for 2 years. So because of this exposure, my son decided to learn Mandarin. I was like, okay, you can learn Mandarin. Like I said, you could barely handle French, but good luck. And so he learned Mandarin, actually got a degree in it, which cracked us up. And he went to Taiwan for study abroad. And he absolutely loved it. And he wanted to go back. He wanted to go to Taiwan or to China, but then we had a pandemic. Okay. So, and so he really loved it. He became, you know, like he picked up Chinese yo-yo and he did all these things that were wild. And then he would get into all these different clubs and he'd be like the white boy in the Japanese association club at school and everything. But what I'm trying to say here is that the other groups are so welcoming that they said, okay, yeah, come on, little Italian boy, come on, let's go. And they just made his experience at Ridge and at college very different, very educational, and opened up a world to him that he said, yeah, Ma, I want to go to Taiwan. So I think it's really great that we have 24% of our town that is diverse of AAPI. And then you throw in the Jewish community, which is huge, and our Muslim community, which is huge, and it's just a very interesting. Now I consider Bernards Township really, really special. 25 years ago, maybe not, but now I consider us more special. So thank you very much for listening to my story.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close public comment. Staff comments, township committee comments, and board and liaison. Pat?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to welcome personnel appointments Joanne Slayman, Planning and Zoning. Congratulations to Tyler Ostrander, DPW, for his promotion to truck driver. And just to acknowledge Michelle Santoro on her retirement, 17 plus years, outstanding service to the town. We wish her well in her retirement. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bellardo?
No, thank you, Mayor. And then it was good to see Dan Burkhart here. I remember growing up with his children and my children. I hadn't seen him in a number of years. It was good to chat with him before the meeting.
Christy?
None this evening, thank you.
I'm going to have Committeeman Tancredi kick it off. He is going to give the report on Charter Day. I was on vacation. Thank you, David.
I prepared an overview of Charter Day. So colleagues can expand on it. It's their time. Charter Day took place on Saturday, May 17th, to celebrate the 265th anniversary of the signing of our township charter in 1760. We had a large turnout of residents throughout the day, thanks to the beautiful weather. The day's activity started at noon with our town crier, Hank Barry, leading a procession of dignitaries that included Committeewoman AC, Committeewoman Dorothy McCarthy, County Commissioner Morano, County Surrogate Giallo, Assemblywoman Matsakudis, and myself. We were escorted to the main stage where we joined Deputy Mayor McNally. Pastor Dennis Jones from the Basking Ridge Presbyterian Church gave the invocation, and Deputy Mayor McNally followed with a speech focusing on the history of Bernards Township and its connection to the American Revolution. The flag ceremony was performed by the Girl Scouts of Bernards Township, and the national anthem was sung by Matthew Saitafatelli. Throughout the day on the main stage, 11 groups performed for the crowd. Food trucks lined the street in front of the stage. There were rides, games, and face painting for children at Oak Street School. 70 nonprofit organizations, religious groups, local artisans, businesses, Bernards Township committees and departments had tents to interact with residents and share information. Committeewoman McCarthy and I worked the township committee tent along with student volunteers who were excellent. They were knowledgeable, They were a great host. Basking Ridge Presbyterian Church hosted a student art show in Westminster Hall, and the Brick Academy had historical displays. I want to thank Parks and Rec Director Jennifer Gander and the Parks and Recreation staff for making this another successful day. Also, thank you to the Somerset County Sheriff's Office, the Bernards Township Police Department, the Liberty Corner Fire Department, the Basking Ridge Fire Department, and First Aid Squad, all who participated in the day's events. Over the years, my children always loved Charter Day. They would say it was one of the best days of the year, and I agree with that. So it's a day to be proud of the rich history of Bernards and a day to celebrate the welcoming, diverse, family-oriented community that we are. Thank you. Continue my
Yeah,
reports.
regular report, yeah.
On Saturday, May 3rd, I observed the filling of the Pleasant Valley Pool and was provided a tour of the facility by our pool manager, Dan Weinikoff. And I want to thank the Liberty Corner Fire Department and especially Chief Ken White for giving their time to fill the pool on a Saturday afternoon. The pool did open this past Saturday and will be open every weekend, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And beginning June 21st, the pool will be open full-time 7 days a week. The next extended hours for pool membership IDs will be June 9th, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yesterday, Mayor Fields, Deputy Mayor McNally, and I participated in the annual Memorial Day Parade. This year's parade was in my neighborhood of Liberty Corner and was hosted by the Liberty Corner Fire Department. It's always a solemn and dignified tribute to all who gave their lives in service to this great country. Thank you to everyone who participated and attended. Parks and Recreation, on June 12th, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., the Somerset County Parks Commission will host an informational session on therapeutic recreation for children, teens, and adults with developmental disabilities right here in the municipal building. This year, our Parks and Rec Department have been working on partnerships with Somerset County Parks Commission to provide programs here in Bernards for disabled residents. And the Parks and Rec Committee is Parks and Rec Department are also working on creating new programs for adults with disabilities. And the mayor and I will be meeting with parents of these adults in early June to determine what types of programs will be most beneficial to these individuals.
Thank you, David. Jen?
Sure. Adding on to your very thorough report, David, very nice job. I was just going to add that from the Girl Scout perspective, a unique thing that we did this year, we had 4 troops. We had 2 cadets and a brownie and Daisy troop, and that was unique in the fact that the older girls were mentoring the younger girls. So the cadets are getting to the point that maybe they'll pass along the torch, so to speak, and had a great time. So again, thank you to everybody that made Charter Day what it was. On May the 1st, so looking back, I had the opportunity to attend the New Jersey 2025 Film Expo at the Meadowlands Arena. So it was a great event interacting with all those within the film industry. You may or may not know that right now New Jersey has the most number of film projects in the state, in the country, with 20. So there is a lot of on-site activity, and hopefully we'll get a chance to get something. Also, last week, I had the opportunity to attend the Conference of Mayors. So down in Atlantic City, there were some excellent sessions, like one on artificial intelligence. One of my favorites was called Unlocking Innovative Revenue for Municipalities Beyond the Tax Base. A lot of discussion-related challenges that we all face, like affordable housing, as well as trying to get our energy tax receipt revenue back. The networking and learning from other mayors was beyond valuable because as we need to recognize there are 564 municipalities. Bernards Township is just one, and we are not the only one facing issues. We're not an island, and there's a great opportunity for us to learn from others and way to work with others. So it was a great experience. Looking forward from a Board of Health perspective, I'll let Anna speak to the upcoming Twilight Challenge. I'm just excited to share, though, that I'll be there. Hopefully my base is there and my daughter will run with me. So I look forward to seeing you on June the 1st. For private well owners, there is an opportunity for you to test your drinking water through low-cost testing offered through the nonprofit Raritan Headwaters Association. There's an event at Bernardsville, June the 2nd through June the 6th at the Borough Hall. The tests are available for a range of potential contaminants, so please go to the Board of Health and Health Department website for more information on that. Also, please don't forget that we do have free radon test kits. So for all of the properties within our contracted towns, please go to the Health Department. Those are as supplies last. And last, I also wanted to acknowledge Michelle Santoro, our dedicated animal control officer, for her upcoming retirement. In her 17 years as I've served on the Board of Health, the animals that she has saved, wildlife as well as domestic, this woman is not afraid of anything. And the animals clearly have been able to do well with her at the stead. So we're grateful for her service and thank her for it. Thank you.
Anna?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few updates from our boards and commissions. At the beginning of May, the Environmental Commission partnered with the Great Swamp Watershed to distribute native plants to residents at our local Ross Farm. Several members participated, and it was great to see the continued enthusiasm within our community to plant native plants and start pollinator gardens. It was great to be part of this year's Charter Day celebration, which David gave a great summary, and mark our township's 265th anniversary. The Agricultural Committee, I will call it, at one point had several members of the Melito family, including Jim Melito, the committee's chair, sharing information about our local farms. So that was pretty special to see. On Charter Day, the Township's Anniversary Committee also launched our logo contest, which will commemorate the nation's upcoming 250th anniversary. The logo will be central to all of our communications around anniversary programs. There is more information available on the website. The contest is open to residents of high school age and older and will conclude on July 4th. So if you are interested in this, please see our website, or you can contact me or other members of our committee. Coming up, as Committeewoman AC shared, we have our Municipal Alliance's 35th Twilight Challenge this coming Sunday, June 1st. There is still time to sign up for the Healthy Walk, which is at 5:30, or the 5K Run, which is at 6 p.m. And this is a great opportunity for you to support this alliance's objectives of supporting education and prevention of substance abuse, tobacco, and alcohol. So please join us. It's a great community event. A lot of partners come, like the YMCA comes, other organizations. There's music, and it's just a great way to convene. So we hope to see you there. The Golf Advisory Committee, memberships are still available for the Coakley-Russo Golf Course. And as shared at our last meeting, there is a new upcoming adaptive golf program, which is going to run in June. This is going to be led through the Inspiration Golf Range and the New Jersey Golf Foundation. The wonderful news is that within the program being announced, it was fully registered within 24 hours. So we are hoping to run a second session. And I want to again thank Sue Trapp, our resident who's here, who brought the idea forward from her own experience working at the New Jersey Golf Association, and the committee just ran with it. So it was just a nice story all in all. And then lastly, the Shade Tree Commission has also launched the Tree of the Month campaign. Each month, the Shade Tree Commission will highlight a special tree within Berners Township that stands out and makes a difference in our community, environment, and lives. You can nominate a tree on your property, a tree on public land, or even a neighbor's tree if you have their approval. There is information about this on the Shade Tree Commission's webpage, and we are starting it with the, no surprise, May's Tree of the Month is the Basking Ridge Great White Oak. So for more information on this, visit the Shade Tree Commission page on bernards.org. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Finale, before you go on, I also want to say, if you want to say something, I don't know if you're planning on saying something, since I couldn't make the mayor's conference, New Jersey League of Mayors Conference, you want to mention that. You went to represent our town here at the league, so thank you for that.
Yes, certainly. And that was indeed a wonderful event.
Sorry,
and a
I
great
missed it.
opportunity to
I was away.
interact with mayors from around the state. Regarding Charter Day, I won't belabor the point, but I wanted to thank all of our municipal staff, our volunteers, vendors, businesses who came together to make Charter Day a success. And a special thank you to all the residents and visitors who joined us at Charter Day this year. This past Monday was Memorial Day, and Berners Township commemorated Memorial Day with our annual parade. Thank all those who marched with us in the parade and all those who laid wreaths at the War Memorial in Liberty Corner. I thank Mayor Fields and Military Mom herself for her profound remarks as our keynote, Rabbi Shemtov and Reverend Barnabas Springold for leading us in prayer. I'd especially like to thank the members of the Liberty Corner Fire Department and Mike Barth for all their work to organize the event, as well as Basking Ridge Fire, who came out, brought their trucks as well. And certainly, last but not least, Liberty Corner Fire Chief Ken White's work as our MC for the day. It was truly wonderful to see so many residents line the streets for the parade. As the speakers mentioned during the event, while Memorial Day is often regarded as the unofficial start to summer, its true meaning is a solemn occasion. We honored those whose lives were lost in defense of our great country. Those sacrifices can never be repaid, but I'm proud that Berners Township continues to honor this tradition, as do so many of our residents and local organizations. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. So not to duplicate, I was going to say the same thing, thank you for everyone for Charter Day. I'm sorry that I missed it. I was on vacation. Thank you, David, for the report and stepping up for me. I appreciate it. Also, you said exactly what I wrote about, a Memorial Day. I was going to thank Michael Barth, who coordinated it, and Chief Ken White. Thank him also for being running the ceremony. It was a beautiful day, and I enjoyed spending time with my colleagues, Andrew McNally and David Tancredi, Deputy Mayor, that is. And like the same thing he said, it's just a beautiful experience to walk the street, and the patriotism that we have in our community is unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, the rabbi was there, and he said to me, "Do you always get this many people? I can't believe it." And I said, "We do. They all come out that early in the morning and line the streets and watch the parade, and it's just magnificent." So proud to live here and to see that everyone comes out and supports our community. Speaking of the Liberty Corner Fire Company, they are bringing back their food truck and music festival in September, so I will continue to keep you updated. This is their 4th annual. I remember they started it, a lot of hiccups, but we made it through, and now it's the 4th annual. Excited about that. Farmstead Art Center, the Lord Sterling Theater Company presents She Stoops to Conquer. Play dates are May 30th to the 31st and June 6th to the 7th, and the performances are at 7:30 p.m., and then June 1st to the 8th at 2 p.m. So you can visit farmsteadartcenter.org to purchase tickets and see what other shows are coming up. The library board, the library and friends of the library had a table at Charter Day and promoted many of the library's upcoming events and collections. They're holding another repair cafe on Saturday, May 31st. Community members are invited to bring 1 or 2 broken items to be repaired for free by skilled volunteers. Our volunteers repair things like bicycles, jewelry, household appliances, lamps, and more. This is a great program, really great program. So if you have anything that has to be repaired, please go to stop by the library on May 31st. They've been outreaching a lot of efforts. They've been at Ridge Oak. We have Bonnie here with us. They continue to outreach to Ridge Oak and the VA Food Bank. Also, I wanted to mention the Twilight Challenge, which I'm looking forward to attending. Thank you to the Municipal Alliance for another great year of putting that together, Anna. Also, I would like to mention Michelle Santoro, too, in her retirement. She's just amazing. The love and care that she's given the animals, it's hard to replace that. Matter of fact, I had to go to Basking Ridge Veterinarian Hospital, and Dr. Hollow said, "Can I speak with you?" And I said, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "I'm really concerned." And I said, "With what?" And he said, "With Michelle leaving, we just really need to make sure whoever replaces her cares like she does and takes care of us." And I said, I'll make sure of that. You don't have to worry about that. Berners always make sure we have the best people." So he said, "Okay, just want to make sure." So that's what a great job she did. When you have a veterinarian who speaks so highly of you and doesn't want you to leave, really makes a difference. So. And with the reports, also want to say, it's going to be a busy summer with all the plays and movies in the park, and we're all looking forward to that. And I know Jen had touched on it, but I want to mention it. So a lot of people have asked me about the Film Ready and about the town and about that. So I did mention that you can go to our website under the municipal clerks, and there you'll find the document for the permits. And I wanted everybody to know we do not have a liaison for the Film Ready or for anything to do with the filming. So we had decided we weren't going to have a film liaison, and that the clerk's office is going to handle it. So the clerk, if you're interested and need to know anything about filming, about Film Ready, you can call the clerk's office. Christine is handling that through her office. And if anything needs to be escalated or we can't answer any questions, Christine knows that she can contact me and I can take over and help. So I just wanted everybody to know there is not a film liaison person in our town. It is the clerk's office. It's not us. They are personally handling that. And also to address, I know there was some conversation about the economic and development. The committee consists, for the economic development, we're going to be working on that. It consists of committee members Anna McCarthy and Dave Tancredi, and we have had discussions, not formally. We were supposed to have a meeting. I had to cancel, but I wanted to say that it's so important that we get through the affordable housing, and our focus was mainly on that. So we wanted to make sure that when we did the Economic and Development Committee, that we would be able to put all our time and energy into that and not be distracted by anything else, which has been the affordable housing. So we will be resuming that because tonight we'll be finishing up the affordable housing, and we'll be moving on to the economic and development, and I look forward to working with my colleagues and getting started on that. So that's all I have. Fire and rescue appointments.
None this evening, Mayor.
Ordinance 2579, Christie.
An ordinance of the Township of Bernards appropriating $6,190,591.79 for various capital improvements, and this is a public hearing.
I open the public hearing and welcome comments. I close public hearing. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move that ordinance 2579 be adopted and advertised as required by law.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Christie.
Ms. Acey?
Yes.
Ms. Duarte McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Mr. Tancredi?
Yes.
Mayor Fields?
Yes.
Motion carried.
New business consent agenda. The items listed within the consent agenda portion of the meeting have been referred to the Township Committee for reading and study and are posted on the agenda on the website and are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion of the Township Committee with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is required, the items may be removed from the agenda by Township Committee action and placed on the regular agenda under new business. Would anyone like any items removed from the consent agenda?
No, Mayor.
Not hearing any. Can I have a motion, please?
Move the consent agenda.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, Christie.
Ms. Acey?
Yes.
Ms. Duarte McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Mr. Tancredi?
Yes.
Mayor Fields?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-033,
Authorizing the Bernards Township Attorney to file a copy of this resolution, 2025-233, endorsing the housing element and fair share plan adopted by the Township Planning Board on May 20th, 2025, with the Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program through the e-courts pursuant to the administrative directive of the courts 14-24, docket SOM-L-157-25.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Would anyone like to say something?
I would.
Okay.
I wanted to just comment that as you were saying, this has really been a pathway to meet our fourth round obligation. And I want to thank our township planner, Dave Schley, our affordable housing planner, Kendra Lely, and members of the planning board for their comprehensive review and approval of the draft housing element fair share plan. As Mr. Edelstein mentioned, it was really, I watched it on YouTube, an excellent presentation by Kendra Lely on the elements that of the plan and the context that she provides from that report. And there were various data points, among others, that I think resonated for me, that the decisions that we made on these ordinances, that the three, the Our House, Ridge Oak, and Westgate, were in fact the right decision. They're developable. That was a question that came up. There is sewer and water capacity at both sites. This is relative to Ridge Oak and Westgate. It's mentioned in Kendra's presentation that the Westgate Hotel is not currently in the sewer area, but that the residential areas are. So that was critical. The two sites are located in the State Planning Area 2, which is the state's designated suburban planning area. And this is where in the state they want to see redevelopment and development, and is a preferred location for affordable housing. They are compliant with New Jersey DEP. They will not affect any historical or architecturally important sites and districts. They have also, in the presentation and in the report that Kendra shares, the township, as we know, received 7 other proposals, and our objective was to address the obligation with the least number of total market rate units. So these proposals with our house save us about 250 units from being constructed, and have the least amount of impact to the environment and the existing infrastructure can support, i.e. utilities and roadways. And then related, in light of the significant opposition to this project that we heard, along with support, we had recommended to Bonnie Kelly, who's here, Director of Housing Development, that Ridge Oak continue to engage with the neighboring residents. And on May 16th, Bonnie sent a letter to all surrounding neighbors communicating that the ordinance had been approved to construct these affordable rental units. And in her letter, she states, as we did with both Ridge Oak 2 and 3, when we have well-developed engineering and architectural plans, but before we go to the Bernards Township Planning Board for site plan review, we will invite our neighbors to our community center to discuss project details and to solicit their thoughts and suggestions. I think that's a terrific step. It's positive, it's important to engage the community as the project goes forward, so that's greatly appreciated that that was done. And then on Westgate, traffic was cited as a concern during public comment. I know a number of my colleagues did speak to that. The property does have access to a street. There's an existing internal drive that comes onto Martinsville Road. It's a 4-lane highway. It was designed for intense use when that was at its peak office professional use, and now we're looking at multifamily development that won't have that same volume of traffic. Differently though, while we consider Westgate, we're also looking at bringing 1,000+ residents to the community, and that, along with the development of Mountain View, provides the township with the opportunity to explore ways to create more connectivity to these areas, particularly through the consideration of pathways or different ways just to ensure that this doesn't become sort of this island unto its own. But again, I just want to thank the planning board for its hard work, and it just reaffirmed that the decision, which was a difficult one, was the right one. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Jen?
Yes, so to the point about residents not being here tonight or at the planning board, many of those residents are still very angry. I still hear from them, and they very much disagree with what was approved. We as a township committee obviously disagreed 4-1 on the proposed plans. And we will always disagree as to what is the definition of overdevelopment. Allowing the excessive number of families into the community is what was the biggest concern for our specific community. So having, when it's all said and done, with our 3rd and 4th round obligation inserted at Westgate and Mountain View, when you have maybe 2,000 new people there, with the traffic that is related, it's going to be a concern, and residents will perhaps remember and regret. So at the end of the day, it's something that, yes, the state required affordable housing. The state did not require the particular proposals that this committee approved, and it woefully undermet the need of our community, which is housing for seniors. We very much need housing for seniors, as well as adults with IDD, intellectual and developmental disabilities. So at the end of the day, we really needed to address that, and it's still an unmet need.
David?
Our house, fine organization, and the TC is proud to sponsor support its mission. The 4 units is a small contribution towards a large number of units needed, and hopefully we can actively work to have more of these units for special needs adults. Ridge Oak, once again, as I said, is a fine facility. Senior housing is in high demand. Project gives us 100% credit towards our obligation, and the project will be an inherently beneficial use, serving the public good and promoting general welfare. Just to add to what Ms. McCarthy said about the Westgate, I just think from the perspective of the students we may have coming to the school system, the site is in a rather remote location, and the multi-story building that's going to be converted will probably bring less school-age children to that development. And that's based on the Rutgers study and information provided to us by our local officials, our local planner. Also, just to say, the housing element and fair share plan adopted by the planning board is the best option to fulfill our constitutional duty for the fourth round of affordable housing. It will result in less overall development without having to develop one or more sites to achieve that goal. The acceptance of this plan is the best choice to minimize development, in my opinion. And as I stated on April 15th, low-income housing should be a part of any responsible master plan to provide housing to seniors, disabled, low-income families, and individuals. However, it should not be decided. It should be decided by local officials, not by Trenton bureaucrats. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. With the planning board having unanimously approved the housing element and fair share plan last week, the resolution we're considering tonight authorizes the filing of the plan and associated resolutions in the appropriate docket. The actions we're taking tonight complete the formal work we as the Township Committee were obligated to do to fulfill under the law to fulfill the fourth round mandate, which extends for the next 10 years. While I personally disagree with the notion of affordable housing mandates, it has been incumbent on all of us to figure out the best path forward and accept the law as it is and our options as they are, not as we would prefer them to be. It's important that we take responsibility for these decisions rather than leave our fate on these matters to the courts. And I believe we have done that with the actions that we've taken. I would like to thank our professionals, including our planners, Kendra Lilly and David Schley, and of course our learned counsel, John Bellardo, who has spent countless hours working on this. Certainly I'd like to thank all of our municipal staff, my colleagues on the Township Committee, and very notably the volunteer members of the Planning Board, whose recent work helps us to comply with our fourth round mandate. This was a significant effort on the part of many, many people, including those who are going to be developing these properties, filled the mandate. So thank you, Mayor. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. So I too would like to thank our professionals, our planner, Kendra, Dave Sly, the staff. But the gold star goes to our counselor, John Bellardo. Thank you so much. From the beginning, you got us on a road and had us hire a planner you recommended who was fabulous. And every step of the way, you worked with me and worked with my colleagues and really got us through this. Your knowledge and expertise really made the difference. And I can't thank you enough because that's what made our job a little bit easier. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I say that really profoundly because I've been reading in the newspapers how many local towns, they don't have a plan, they don't have money, they have to bond to do affordable housing, and we're done after tonight. Some of them aren't going to be done for a while, even though they're supposed to make the deadline. They don't have the money, they have to bond. They don't have the land, they didn't plan. We knew this was coming. We planned a year in advance by getting a planner and having a committee and have a committee decide what we were gonna do. So we did all the right things. And then in the end, we worked as a team and we worked together and we asked all the questions and we were so serious about it. Hours and days and weeks and time spent on this. And you know, when we have to sit up here and make a decision, it's never easy. We know there's, you know, both sides, the negative and the positive, and some people want it and some people don't. But I have to say, you know, when you have, you know, we're a majority rules committee, and when you have 4 committee members saying that this is the right decision, and then you have a planning board saying you have the right decision, you know what, we can sleep at night knowing that it was the right decision. And why it was the right decision also is because it does benefit people in our community. It benefits the elderly, so we're meeting our obligation by helping the elderly and the people who need it the most. They look for affordable housing. They need affordable housing. That's how they live. We have the special needs. We're working with Our House. We're doing units for special adults with special needs. And I'm telling you right now, my promise to all of you is I'm still working on more housing for special adults with special needs. And my colleagues all know that. I haven't given up yet for more units and more development for them, because I know how important it is to our community with children with special needs. And so we're continuing to work on that. And then the Westgate project, I'm gonna say it again, it is not overdevelopment. Overdevelopment is if we didn't do Westgate, we would have had to do two, in addition to that, 2 more developments in town. So it would have been 3 developments instead of 1. So I'm happy about that, I'm happy about the decision, and I wanna thank my colleagues, Andrew, I wanna thank Anna, and I want to thank David for really us coming together and working and not always agreeing, but at the end making the right decision. And Bonnie, thank you so much. Anna had told me that she was going to talk about it, about you sending the letter, and you listened, you heard the people, they weren't comfortable with the decision, and you took the initiative to send them a letter and let them know, listen, we're going to work together, we're going to get through this. So thank you so much for that.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. So, thank you. Okay. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acey? No. Ms. Duarte McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Mr. Tancredi?
Yes.
Mayor Fields?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Ordinance 2580. Christie?
An ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Bernards, Chapter 4, General Licensing, Section 10, Alarm Systems, and this is introduction.
Mayor, move that ordinance 2580 be introduced on first reading, advertised as required by law, and scheduled for a public hearing on June 24th, 2025.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, Christie?
Ms. Acey?
Yes.
Ms. Duarte McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Mr. Tancredi?
Yes.
Mayor Fields?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Approval of minutes for April 29, 2025, open session minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Executive session, Christie?
None this evening, Mayor.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.